We're also watching shifting political winds in our nation's capital. All eyes on Capitol Hill. And the big question, whether President Trump's pick of Pete Hegseth for defense secretary will get enough confirmation votes to get the job. Senate Majority Leader John Thune saying Trump will get his cabinet, even if it means that lawmakers have to stay it out, and work through the weekend. So as voting relates to Mr. Hegseth, that confirmation vote, we understand, will happen later tonight. We also wanted to let you hear Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer had some blistering remarks ahead of that vote planned for tonight. Listen.
Is Pete Hegseth really the best we have to lead the greatest military in the world? Is this man, with a history of excessive drinking, really the guy you want on the other end of the phone at 2 a.m. in a crisis, in control of the nuclear codes? Is this man, with a mile-long list of allegations of abusing, degrading, and harassing women, the one we want leading our men and women into battle? Is this man, who failed to manage the finances of veterans' nonprofit groups, who drove his organizations into debt to the point where he could not even pay creditors, the person we want in charge of the Pentagon's budget? I want this last point to sink in. DOD is a colossal organization. It has a workforce of 3 million people, an annual budget of over $850 billion. Is Pete Hegseth really the person we want overseeing an organization as complex as DOD? A man who couldn't even manage the finances of a small nonprofit, and yet they pick him. It's unbelievable.
Is Pete Hegseth the best man for the job? If that's sounding familiar, bringing in CBS News Caitlin Huey-Burns, it does, because we heard Hakeem Jeffries say arguably the same thing in recent days. You also have some reporting on Senator Tim Kaine.
Hey, great to see you. Well, there's actually not a lot that Democrats can do to stop this nomination from going forward. If you look at the first procedural vote the other night, only 2 Republicans defected. And that gives you an indication that this nomination is likely to go through, though we are watching that final vote, which could come later tonight. You mentioned Tim Kaine. He's been meeting with some Democrats, and he sits on this committee, he said that they've been trying to pitch a deal where they offer an earlier vote for Hegseth in exchange for delaying some of these other votes on nominees like Kristi Noem and others, pushing that until Monday. Now, we'll see if Republicans bite on that. It could be unlikely, given that Republicans are incentivized to stay through the weekend, try to move as many nominees forward in the process as possible, because they want the president and his nominees to hit the ground running on their agenda. But that is a proposal being floated, an earlier, perhaps earlier than 9 p.m. vote, of course, for this Capitol Hill reporter would be welcomed.
Yes, you might actually get a dinner time before the stroke of midnight. So there's this reporting that Pete Hegseth has told lawmakers behind closed doors that he, in fact, did pay $50,000 to the woman who accused him of sexual assault in 2017. We have to say he still continues to deny any wrongdoing. But is this revelation likely why we saw that erosion of support from Murkowski and Collins saying that they will vote no?
Yeah, this was certainly news because we knew that a payment existed. We did not know until yesterday, when that was disclosed, what the amount was. And Hegseth has maintained his innocence. He has argued before we knew what this number was, that they offered that payment a long time after this incident, because they were worried essentially about his job at Fox News at the time. Does it have any bearing on the Republicans that are influential here? That could have factored in, but largely from Murkowski and Collins had bigger, broader issues with his nomination and could not support moving forward with that process. The key to watch here is if any other Republicans join in on this. Again, it's unlikely, but they could, support the procedural vote to move forward with this nomination and then oppose him. You heard President Trump himself say today, maybe Mitch McConnell doesn't vote for him. We'll see. So we will see. Nothing, is true until that vote does close, but it is unlikely that you'll see many more Republican defections, and more likely than not that Hegseth is the next defense secretary.
I echo what you say. I thought it was fascinating when Donald Trump gets off of Air Force One in North Carolina and he's asking reporters, what about Mitch? How did Mitch vote? It did plant a seed in a lot of us, like, is Mitch McConnell's vote up for question here? So we know you're there. We know you can cover it. We also know that you know a lot about something called recess appointments, which basically means the president can make appointments that are temporary when the Senate is not in session. I want to get your take. We heard about the possibility of recess appointments to fast track these picked for cabinet confirmations. What are you hearing by way of recess appointments, and could that play out?
Yeah, this new administration provides some civic lessons for all of us. So we have been brushing up on procedure up here on Capitol Hill. This is pretty unlikely because it would require a lot. Essentially, both houses, if the president wants to put Congress in recess, both houses of Congress, both chambers would have to agree. And that means the Senate would have to have 60 votes to support a recess, going into recess for that appointment to take place. Republicans have control over the Senate, but they don't have 60 votes. So that would require Democrats, and that's unlikely at this point. So there are some procedural kind of fundamental hurdles for that as well. But by and large, what President Trump was suggesting is he wants nominees, not only those top cabinet level positions that we've been talking about, but other, deputies and other kind of agency heads to be confirmed as quickly as possible. So he has kind of floated this idea around and essentially said it's up to Majority Leader John Thune in the Senate to really make that plan. But there is also this argument to be made that you want the full confirmation process for your nominees to show, publicly what the support is, show the vetting publicly, and have that formal process so that there aren't any questions, at least that haven't been answered yet at that time, about these nominees. So we'll see. Never say never in a Trump administration, but there are some big hurdles that exist with that.
All right, so once again, the vote on Pete Hegseth, that confirmation vote set for 9 p.m. Eastern, but if Democrats are able to cut that deal, move up the vote, you get dinner on a Friday. Caitlin, it's so nice to talk to you. We appreciate you so much.